Hi Sarah and all the other guys at the Gin class in APIS. Hope all is good with you. Thank you, Sarah, for your email. I thought I'll record the message other than just typing it out, so everybody can listen to my thoughts and my ideas. Hope that the conference was productive, was interesting, and yeah, just been thinking a little bit more about your suggestion of sort of working with this digital divide concept, and thank you for sending through your ideas and your sort of willingness to help out in our communities. In order for this to be productive and I encourage you to think through just a couple of more sort of ideas, or try to develop this idea a little bit further. And I'm going to face you with a few questions that I think you would want to think about and what you want to address in the class. And I'm not at all, by no means, want to sort of discourage this idea. I think it's cool, and I'm willing to do my part. I'm just wanted to sort of introduce a few new questions that I want you to think about, that we need to think about before we potentially launch something like this. So after reading through your suggestion, I want you guys to think about so obviously bringing a computer into a community. There's a few things we need to think about logistically when it comes to doing something like that. So what do you guys think about solving so bringing in the computer is obviously quite valuable. It's an item that's worth a lot in a village like that. So what would you think about security as far as storing that so it doesn't get stolen? How would we solve that problem, do you think? Also, as far as getting the computer from where you guys are at in Seoul to Laos, there's some cost associated with that. How could we solve that? I'm also interested to for you to think about sort of the software applications that will be used in that computer. Of course, these guys have a very, very basic knowledge of what a computer is and how it can be used. So what kind of software would we be able to have in this computer that would make sense in the context where they're at? The good thing is that a lot of people are interested about computers and mobile phones, and they're actually increasingly tech savvy, but starting off from a very low level. I would also be sort of interested to know what kind of language can we use in the computer? Can you just install sort of Thai or Lao into any computer, and how would that work? I would also encourage you to think about, what do we do with, let's say we come to this, we bring this computer into, this area, or, how do we deal with like electricity bills or bills associated with having that computer? Is this belong to a family or to the entire village? And who pays for the sort of ongoing fees associated with having that computer? So those are just sort of a few questions that, when I see an initiative like that, I just want to, I want us to think about it a little bit more deeper. And if you can address, these specific questions around sort of security, transportation, software, language, electricity, if you have any further ideas on how we can solve those, or how you guys can contribute to those, I'm definitely keen and interested to take this further. But we all need to sort of think about that before we potentially would launch something like that. if you want to record a message similar to this, I'm happy to. That would be awesome. Otherwise, you can just type back. Anyway, again, this is not a message of discouraging, or I hope you just see where I'm coming from as far as what implications and this means for the local community, and what potential sort of issues we need to solve with this initiative that comes with it. So look forward to hearing back from you, and yeah, thanks again for reaching out.